podcast. We want to show quality images of Black people engaging in intellectual dialogues
In a creative space to express our voices. We believe that everything starts with conversation to spark change.
Control the narrative, control the image.
My name is Jamila Young, and welcome to Discussion Night.
I'm Nipsey Green, and this is Discussion Night.
I'm your host, Hami, and welcome to Discussion Night.
Like this. Like this. Like this. Like this. Like this. Like this. Like this.
The system.
Is there a heaven, there a hell? You know where I take it and you know I do it well. When I come through, better show up respect. I ain't want nothing but that motherfucking check. You can catch me at your door, you can catch me in your home. Oh, you're running late, just send the address to my phone. Copy, paste, and go. Baby, don't be playing with me. I could come through and take off your shit. Take off your gear, take off your keys. If you hold back, that's the wrong way to be. Don't fuck with me, don't fuck with me. If you hold back, just remember this, please. Oh, they try, but they'll never get by, baby. You can try, but you'll never get by, baby. They try, but they'll never get by, baby.
One.
Please, welcome back to another episode of Discussion Night. I am your host, Hami. My co-host, Des the Prime, has not made it in yet, but he will be here shortly. So, welcome back for another episode of Hot Topics and various other topics that we're going to discuss tonight. I want to go to my right, and on the way down to around, everybody come and introduce themselves.
I am Nipsey Green. Jade of Essence. I'm done. Yeah, I'm done.
Follow that.
Exactly. You're welcome. See?
I am Jamila Young, otherwise known as Jamila Equipo.
There you go.
Yes.
See?
Come on, sis.
Thank you.
So, all right, how has everybody's week been?
Very chill.
Friday.
But it's been for me. It's been a relaxed week. I was at Lipstick Wars. It was Saturday, this past Saturday, and that was pretty lit. Yeah, it was pretty lit. I did photography for it, so you should just check out some of the pictures. They're pretty cool. You can go on the other page. You know, I can now show you. I'll pull it up.
I want to see.
But yeah, I get you in on the photography. But other than that, it's been chill, man. Just been writing. You know, same old, same old. Every day, regular.
My week has been light and heavy. Heavy from the load in general, but also light because school is coming to an end, so the workload is a little easier.
Well, for myself, it's like I'm just been playing this game of chess inside of my mind. I'm making every move my best move. Learning to move in silence because I'm usually loud when I move. Like, you hear me coming.
You wasn't given that very distinctive voice for it to be silent.
Right.
Exactly. So I understand.
That definitely voice. But yeah, so like just strategically setting up my moves, you know, planning to do other things. And I said this back in 2014. I said, if I cannot liberate Louisville, I will leave. And it's like, I'm still here. So there's so many things that I know that I need to do in this space before, because like the thing I want to do in this space, I want to do them in other places, but it's like mastering where you at, like right here.
I totally agree.
And it's like that collaboration thing, like Louisville has it, it's just like, something's in the way.
That one little puzzle piece.
What I always say with Louisville, and I'm gonna always say this about Louisville, especially when it comes to artists, is that, or black artists, is that there's no market for real, or there's no real like things that unify us consistently. So exactly, so that we all can come together and collab on a consistent level. That's not, people do shit here, people do shit there, but you know, I don't know if that's what you're talking about.
But yeah, and that may be it. Like I feel like Louisville is a great big ball of talent, but like you're saying,
Individually.
yeah. But what is our niche? What do we house? What do we have that that keeps it going?
We need like an artist league or an artist union where we can kind of
That's
control the narrative.
That's not a bad thought. I just think, and I'm gonna always say this about Louisville and talent. Or in big city, little city. I always consider Louisville to be a quasi big city that thinks like a small town. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being the case, our population isn't that big when you really think about it. It was like 200,000.
In comparison to others, absolutely not.
Yeah, exactly. So we don't have a professional team on any front, so we don't have that buzz, that energy that's always here in this city, and even black artists or artists in general, like I said, there's concentrated pockets of talent and there's a lot of mediocrity. And I'm not saying that I'm better or this person's whack or nothing. All I'm saying is that there just isn't that constant. Because when I think of the opposite, I think of Atlanta. If I'm black and I do anything artistic, there's a place for me to not only make money, but I can network with a bunch of other people that are doing the same thing I'm doing. And I'm a black writer, I can go to Atlanta and get a job as a black writer anywhere, or write a movie for somebody or whatever, and know that the money's gonna come to me, and I can do that. And that's almost non-existent unless I'm a poet, or unless I fall in line with the genres of art that white people tend to want to put money towards, or whatever it may be. So,
Interesting perspective.
Oh no, trust me, I say all the time. Louisville, like I said, being it's a small city, it's easy to make a name here.
Yeah.
You just have to be consistent.
Correct.
But it's harder to find talent. It's hard to find the talent like that you can consistently work with and depend on. In big cities, it's the complete opposite. It's hard to stand out because there's so much dope talent, but it's easy to find it because it's concentrated. So I think of a place like New York, there's an artist in every corner, there's an artist on every block, there's an artist on every, there's a concentration of people. I can just say, hey, I need 6 super duper talented writers, and I will get 1,000, and they're all very good. You see what I'm saying? That's crazy. But to stand out in that ocean of greatness, that's the hard part. So, take what you want. Rules, what it is, I guess. I said a lot. I can go deep on that.
I'm thinking of master plans. I'm so solution based. I'm like, how can we bring all of that in here? But how do we grow from these spaces that you're talking about into those spaces? Because with your lack of everything that you said, it kind of yields competition and all this other stuff that keeps us separate rather than coming together.
Hey guys, before we get back to the live stream, I'm Tracy, the bartender at Southern Hospitality Bar and Grill, located at 3402 West Broadway. You guys got to come and check us out. You can call your order in, and the phone number is 502-822-1474. Again, I'm Tracy, the bartender at Southern Hospitality. Come check us out, guys.
All right. Oh, so let's get into some hot topics. Just recently, yesterday, on the Lincoln Bridge here in Louisville, Kentucky, the toll bridge, for those who don't know what the Lincoln Bridge is, there was a woman who was contemplating suicide. It was on state live streams. It was pretty intense. The EMS, the fire department was there. And eventually they got her off of the cliff. I don't know how long it was. Maybe like 45 minutes, maybe some 30 minutes. I don't know. I don't remember the time frame of how long that it took place, but it happened. And then here we go again. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's this increasingly thing nationwide, these suicides and, mental health and things like that. And it's just like, what are the various, I know the number is probably infinity of the different traumas that our people are actually experiencing to where they want to take their life. I think, yes, it's like, how does one get there? Because I know the body cannot, hurt itself. The body will not allow you to do it. It just won't. Like, you can take a knife right now and try your hardest. It will just not let you. So what happens to the spirit? What happens when you go against the grain to harm yourself? Any thoughts?
Well, for suicide is one of those
Touchy topics.
very, 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 because, regardless of how you feel about it, somebody, just like politics and religion, it's like people are going to feel strongly, yes, obviously, whatever you feel, because, whatever you may think.
Speak your truth.
Okay, so to me, there's two truths to it. Okay, there's two levels to it. So let's just do the level that we're at, right? To reach that point, especially if you have like family or you have children that you're still raising, whatever it may be, you have an obligation to try no matter what until you can't breathe, because at the very least that's what you owe the people that you're supposed to take care of or who depend on you. And but on the flip side, mental health is a real thing, and the older you get, the more it becomes prevalent in what you are able to. It becomes prevalent to what you're able to handle, and then you'll understand more about like how much it affects you. And realizing that, man, you look at your mother and how you judged her growing up, or judge your parents dealing with life problems, and they're like, I'm living life. This is still my first time living life. I don't have all the answers. So you experience that and you see that, and it weighs on you, or you go through a breakup or whatever, or you finance, whatever gets you to that point. And, unfortunately, I feel like it's cowardly. I'm just keeping it real with you. I think it's a cowardly act. Because I feel like life is way too but I get it though. Life is way too precious. And you can and really it's a matter of perspective in what you go through, or how you view it to be. That's really what it boils down to. Because at the end of the day, it's a communication thing. It's how you're internally communicating to yourself what you're going through. So I can go through whatever, and it don't bother me. You can go through the same thing I'm going through, and exactly. So it's all about perspective, and I just feel like that's on this level. On a metaphysical level, I personally feel like when I'm gonna call it the oversoul, when our higher self chooses this existence, it knows that we're gonna, go through what we're going through. It knows that we're gonna come to this decision, and we may just check out and just touch back up with the oversoul. So there's a deeper conversation we can have on that, but I don't want to take up all the time in doing so. But yeah.
Oh, perfectly said. So I'm evolving into a space of like kind of being open-minded and giving space to thoughts that are not my own. So I relate to what you said. I do think it's cowardly, but as I'm evolving into this space, it's like until I am in someone's shoes and experiencing everything that they are mentally, I don't know where to place judgment. However, we ask the question of if we think it's strong to stay here or to go. I think either way is strong, but I think it is very strong, where you have to be a strong-minded, like, set on what you want to do to be able to, like, I'm done, I'm gone, I'm checking out, I don't know where I'm going, but I'm leaving here. But there's also strength in it ain't that bad, tomorrow's a new day, that internal dialogue. And I think that may be a difference in what we see now compared to, because people been going through shit. Okay. People been going through shit, and if you just look at our people, we've been going through shit for centuries. So if it's the case of being overwhelmed and feeling like you can't take anymore, I think we are good people to talk to and give some advice, and especially the old folks. coming up out of, shit that we can't even imagine. Like, those things are conversations that we need to start having within ourselves. And how do you pour into your cup when you live in a society that's not worried about you getting anything? So again, going back to that internal dialogue, it's just like really important to feed yourself everything but the TV, everything but social media, everything but pop culture. It's important to have spaces like this where you're talking to people who are like-minded and can help you overcome the basic thoughts of self-harm, because I think it's easy to, like you said, cowardly choose that option when you don't want to fight anymore. But like you said, when spirit and your body connected and said we're going into this realm, we knew that we were going to step into some turmoil somewhere, somehow. And I think the beauty is finding out how your walk can help other people, but how your walk just improves as you evolve through life. So it's like you don't really get to see the fruits of your labor if you cut it short. You don't really get to see or tell a story to somebody else.
No trial.
You know what I'm saying? You don't get to see that. And then just, like for other people, like I think that we don't pay attention to that enough. Like sometimes helping somebody else can help you, or sometimes helping somebody else may be your purpose. And so, even through that, you don't even know who they can help and help you through something else. So it's more than just checking out. Like you gotta really check in here and be able to like stay steadfast and push, continue, perseverance essentially. Yeah, it's a touchy subject. I can't say that I've been on the end where I felt like I wanted to be there, but again, with life and how everything evolves, I don't ever want to say that will never be me, because you never know what could be you. But just giving reverence to the mind, the power of the mind, and be able to find things that recharge you, because that's essentially what people are battling. I feel when they decide they want to take their lives. It's just like you said, your flesh won't allow you to do it, but if you decide up here like that's what I'm gonna do, then that's what's gonna follow suit. So,
because I remember being in a stage in my life, like I've never wanted to commit suicide, but I knew I was walking to death. I knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
I just was like, I don't know the moment, but I know it was just because of the circumstances that I was in. And so for me, like grieving for my father, because I lost my father in the midst of all of this, I don't grieve like everybody else does. You know what I'm saying? When it comes like
I saw your video, and I thought that was beautiful.
I felt like that was the best thing my father ever did was that. You know what I'm saying? Because I was literally in those moments like, I'm going to die. And had he not died, my family wouldn't have been aware of the situation that was happening. You know what I'm saying? So I needed help, aid, or whatever. So I don't really have a grievance side, more like a celebration, and thank God, you know what I'm saying, I'm here, you know what I'm saying, sorry Papa that you had to go, but you know what I'm saying, thank you, you know what I'm saying, it's a very honorable thing, because I felt in my spirit that's what was happening. So it's just like, yeah, it's a mental thing. Like, I didn't fully mentally check out, but I was at that place of, this is going to happen, like, because there's nobody around me. I'm isolated, like nobody can see me in the world, like nobody even knows I'm here. You know what I'm saying? So I just knew it was only a matter of time until that phone call came. And I was like, that's my way out. Like, this has to be the way out. You know what I mean? So, yeah, and I think that perseverance, just going through it. Like, even still when I came home, I couldn't even talk. Like, you know me, not talking? Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's just like, we can't figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's touchy. It's touchy. I lost a childhood friend of mine. He committed suicide back in early 2000s, like 2001, and gun to his head. And it's just like, when I think about those things, it's like, woo, like how do we?
You and me both.
You gotta be outside of this.
No, you know what's so crazy is that me and Maxwell, we had a mutual friend who committed suicide. Me and Maxwell. And he was a friend that we had for a very, very long time. And he ended up like going to his old high school, because I think the world was coming down upon him of these things that was going on in his life at the time. And he went to his own hometown, went to the high school and did it there, And it's one of those things where it's just like, I was mad at him for doing that. Because I was just like, that's fucking weak. That was my first thought. I was just like, that's fucking weak. It's like, you're the strongest dude I know, and you got a son. That's weak as fuck. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Come on, I looked up to you. I thought you was one of the smartest people I know. And it's like, that's just, I don't know, that's how I
And that
felt
brings
in
me
that
to
moment.
another question. Like, can you segue a little bit? So I
Yeah.
was talking to my girlfriend this weekend over her birthday, and this topic of men being protectors and providers and all this extra stuff. And I was asking, you know, why is it okay for women to ask for help, but it's like men can't? And I remember our brother was saying, he was like, well, men, we're the protectors and the providers. We have to provide everything. I said, but among your provisions, don't you need to have it? You know what I'm saying? And it was like, and I don't know your friend situation and how you passed, but do you feel like sometimes men get to, not to the suicidal point, but maybe into a deep struggle or something because, you know, if we're gonna have this brotherhood just like sisterhood,
Hell to
and
the
you're supposed to go to
yes.
your sister and sister help you or whatever,
Hell to the
you
yes.
should be able to go to your brother, right?
Come
You know
on.
what I'm saying?
Well, he got the floor real
It
quick.
was like you coming in for a fight.
Go, sister, go! Because I was gearing up. I was chugging up.
We
What's
got
up?
a brother from here. And I see there's a sentiment that's always echoed, especially on social media, that a lot of black men like to post, and a lot of my black men in my family post this, but it's along the lines of black men can't ask for help, but black men, we don't have any space, right? And I'm always asking, but at the same time challenging, why haven't y'all created space for yourselves? Why haven't y'all taken up space? And because I'm not a black man, I can't answer those questions, but those are like real questions that as a sister, a black woman who wants y'all to have space, who wants to give y'all space, it's like, you know, women, we gon' come together, even if it's for gossip, eating tea, whatever. We gonna find a way to come together, spill out what it is. Yeah, girl, validate, you know what I'm saying? But when it seems like when it comes to black men, there's a trophy that's being held up. Like, we won for not having no space. Like, we first place for not having no space, but it's just like, create the spaces that y'all need.
Right.
Like, you know, I do my best to hear black men without any rebuttals, without any responses, just to hear you all. And but when it comes to these things, it's just like, my question is, it's just like, you know, if you all don't create things for yourself, or if you all are adamant about these spaces that you all need, what is there expected of other people to give this space to you?
Thank you for the question.
Yeah, and I know you don't speak for all black
Thank
men,
you for
but
the question. My beautiful sisters. You spoken so eloquently.
I tried. Back in the day, that delivery
I appreciate that. But no, that speaks to the growth or just, you know, the evolution of your life, you know, of everybody's life.
Yeah.
But there's three parts to that I would answer that question on. So the first part is this. One thing I've learned with social media is how fucking big this country is and how big this world is. And a lot of times when we see things on social media, it's always these small pockets of things. It is never really truly what it
really
is.
is.
It's the micro and not necessarily the macro. And I feel like there are definitely platforms that are out there for men, right? You have, there's a thing in Louisville was called Brothers Helping Brothers. And I know that there's other things, that's just the one thing that comes to mind.
Yeah.
But there are things that are out there for brothers and resources and free therapy and all these things. These are all things that you're absolutely right. Now, second part is the difference between men and women, okay? Women are social by nature. That's just the woman's nature is y'all social. They like to talk to each other. Like, there was a study that was done where they found that women on average speak like over 8,000 words a day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And by average, men speak about like less than 1,000.
Oh, wow.
Like less than 1,000. No, just real talk. So just imagine like the difference. So, and on top of that, y'all very quick to connect when y'all have problems or whenever y'all want to connect with each other. That's something I always say all the time, that women just have a beat on. Like, I can talk to each other when y'all have a problem. Y'all can cry on each other's shoulders when you have a problem. Now, the problem I feel like men have is really it's the nature of masculinity, especially in the black community. Now, when I think about like showing my emotions even growing up, you know, my mother, being a single mother, didn't really want to express emotions or even how to properly at all. And she was doing her own stuff that I didn't fully understand until I got older. So she wasn't really that available to give me that love, exactly, give me that energy to be able to help me be able to cope with how I'm feeling or things that, you know, not having a father around and then being placed in this position of being a man in the house. So then you have that situation. So then you have just society as a whole on an everyday basis that weighs down and comes down upon us. And it's not to say that we don't think that there aren't things for us. It's that men don't know how to talk to each other. We don't know how to communicate. Like I had some friends, and I'm just talking to them. I'm just trying to tell them how I feel. And it's really not that deep. It doesn't get that deep. Because men by nature, we're driven by our purpose. Women are driven by relationships. Men are driven by purpose. You know what I'm saying? That's what drives us. That's real. Women are women driven by relationships. We're driven by our purpose. So most men, if they're not moving along the lines of that purpose, they will feel empty. They won't be up to par. So they will struggle in silence because they don't know how to fully express that these are the things that I'm feeling on the inside. So let's not add in not fully understanding how to have proper relationships with your wife, or if you have kids, or even knowing how to be open and available to your children. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, you know, you got to deal with work, and then you got to deal with the idea of getting pulled over by police, because that scares me shitless every time I get pulled over. You know, I get scared as fuck, because I'm just like, I'm the most happiest guy. How you doing, officer? I really do get like that. I really do. I code switch like that. So I just feel like I do think that there are avenues. I just don't think that
they're not gonna look like how women.
It's never gonna look like that, because the woman will literally be like, I want to start a gathering of women to talk about our problems. And I guarantee you, it's gonna be 100 women gonna sell it out. They're gonna have vendors. They're gonna have food. They're gonna make the shit look nice, and then they're gonna make money off it. And then that's it. And then we just sit there like, damn, what y'all doing? That's exactly what it is. So I would never blame black women, because there are, like, contrary to popular belief, there are a lot of black women who are supportive of black men. Don't believe the narrative that, you know, how they say how there aren't enough good women or good. There are a lot of black people who are with each other on an average basis. That's
more than not.
More than you not. Yeah, more than not. So, exactly, the narrative. And then we started with. When you control, representation is everything. You know what I'm saying? It's everything. So if you grow up looking at a certain image, because we talked about this last week, you grow up looking at a certain image, that's what's going to influence you, and that's what you're going to absorb and take in. So back to the point that we're making, with the question you said, I feel like there's just levels to that. It's not to say that, that's not the case.
I'm so glad you came. Dropping jewels.
Necessary perspective, genuinely.
Now, do we want to flip it up real quick?
But actually, I did want to say something real quick to what she said. I wanted to kind of follow up to the last part. One lesson that I learned from a mentor of mine way back when, his name was Mike B, he's a famous local poet. One thing he used to tell me was that what you go through is not meant for you. It's not your dungeon. Your dungeon is meant for somebody else. So whatever you go through in life, you're meant to overcome it. Doesn't matter what it is, because the next person is not going to know how to. And it's your job to tell the next person how to get out of that dungeon. That's how you stop the cycle of anything.
That goes back to when we were talking about suicide, how sometimes you going through it ain't for you.
Ain't for you to go through. It's for the next person, exactly. Your dungeon ain't your dungeon.
Because the lesson gotta be learned.
It's gotta be learned.
Some way.
That was all. There you go. There you go.
Yes. But going back to images, you know what I'm saying, controlling the narrative, we gotta get a little spicy, because I number one, I don't know who none of these people are. I think I know their music because everybody be bopping in the club and stuff. But if they walk down the street, I wouldn't know who they are. I I think his name is Dirk. I know who he is now because I've seen his face.
Little Dirk.
Little
With the
Dirk.
crazy eyes.
He got really big eyes.
Yeah, he got creeping the hell
He just
out.
went to prison.
That crazy.
No, he got arrested.
He got arrested.
But the same thing that they got Young Thug for. No, Young Thug just got out for.
Okay, so hip hop. Okay. For number one, can we not categorize this new music as hip hop? That's just some rapping. It's what do they call it when they can't get out
Mumble rap.
mumble
It's
rap.
just entertainment.
It's just the beat is hard. That don't have no message. If there's no message, you cannot call it hip hop.
Yeah,
And if the message is destructive,
all opinions about
it's not hip hop.
I have strong opinions about hip hop. So go ahead.
I feel like hip hop has always, in the beginning, before we get to Queen Latifah's, before we get to KRS's One,
back to Grandmaster Flash.
in all of them, you know what I'm saying? There was a strong, distinct political message
Purpose.
and purpose in it all. Even consciousness, you know what I'm saying? We went from unks to crosses to guns.
Yeah.
The fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, how we go from here, how we go spiritual to death in 2.2. And so, that's how it was designed. You know what I'm saying? Even the pioneers and Kool Hercs and everybody that came together in the Bronx and whatever, they were speaking about the social issues that were happening in community that were directly affecting them. So, yes, hip hop, we love it. And then and there's been waves, and yes, and then what do we got? Midwest, St. Louis, Lunatics, Nelly. Like it did something in the 90s, it did something in the 2000s. And it was fun, okay.
But even as that message started to evolve, the artistry was still there.
Yeah,
Right?
the artistry was still
And
there.
even though we went from talking about political messages to maybe glorifying a little sex and some money, the artistry was still there.
Artistry was still there.
And that's my biggest thing on hip hop, why I can't call it hip hop, because there's no artistry. Was it Cheesy? One of the old rappers in the game said that it's not enough of the artists coming up in church anymore. And so that, me and my friend talked about that and how, the artistry with hip hop and how like growing up in church and getting that musical development, being able to take and transpose the gospel message, getting the message from the gospel and then creating your own message. That in itself is one of the main reasons why music is not music anymore. Even though I feel like the message has been lost for some time. Like,
About 30 years.
yeah, the political message being gone, but again, we could rely on the artistry to keep us engaged, to keep us enthralled into the whole hip hop thing as a whole. But
And the
now it's
artistry
like,
doesn't get the mainstream because it is 100% there. You know what I'm
Correct.
saying? But they're controlling the narrative.
correct.
So this
Yes.
is all we see. But there's, like he was saying about New York, you can go there's 1,000 writers, you know what I'm saying, that'll be up there and you only need 6.
Yeah.
Like, no, there's plenty of them, they're just not mainstream.
Yeah.
So you have to go seek them out, like your Spotify
Yeah,
and
they
all that.
look, yeah,
you
yeah.
gotta go find, but they're 100% there.
Absolutely.
But they don't get
It's
as
the
much
people
play or
that
attention.
we hear, the main people that are on the stages, like, what is our BET Awards? That's like our number one or our
That has done
award
something
show.
weird.
I haven't watched it in years.
I watched
Yeah.
this last
Down.
night.
So-
I was at my girlfriend's house and I was like,
Yeah.
interesting.
So,
Okay, come on now. Break it down.
Yes,
Come on, brother.
I want to say y'all piece because I got some. Listen, because I say this because, I grew up in New York, in the Bronx, no less. I grew up in the 80s in the Bronx, hip hop. So for me, hip hop is like the movie Brown Sugar to me. It was just like that for me. It's the love of it. I absolutely love every aspect of it. Now, yes, I absolutely love it. So where we're at now, and the problem that I feel like the thing we face is, it became, unfortunately, this is just what happens with anything black. Anything that's black dominated. The white people find a way to exploit it, and that's really what it comes down to. Because she's absolutely right. That's what it all was. I was just listening to Big Daddy Kane earlier today. Big Daddy Kane, he was beats, man. But that the thing about the type of artists that are out now,
Entertainers.
no, not the entertainers. What's this shit? The drill music, the murder music.
Oh,
That's what it's called.
Yes, drill music. So those people were not the majority. They were the small minority back in those days. The majority was a Queen Latifah, a Public Enemy, a MC Lyte. You know what I'm saying? Even Third Base and just all these different. You had a lot of flavors. You even had the goofy dudes like Biz Markie. You know, exactly. And then on top of that, you know, hip hop wasn't just the rapping and the music. It was also the culture. You know, the cultural aspect, which was the dancing, the emceeing, the graffiti, DJ, MCing, graffiti.
Oh shit! Dang.
Did we get it right?
I should know this. It's okay. They'll come to us.
Yeah. I can't think right now. I'm on the spot. I can't think. I can't think right now. But the point I'm making is that these elements were, you know, the elements that were up until I'm gonna say the mid '90s, and then it shifted when they invited the gangster music. Now I had nothing against the gangster music because that story needed to be told.
It was still political.
It was still political. It was.
It was stupid wrong.
It was stupid. Like listen, that's the absolute word. And I'm gonna get the best straight out of Compton. That was like a slap in your face, unapologetic. This is what's really happening. We savages, but this is the environment that created us, and they couldn't handle it. Exactly. So the issue to me came when these Jewish, and I'm not saying this, when these Jewish people came into hip hop and they bought these labels, they saw, okay, I see the dollar signs. Exactly, that's what I care about. So people like this violent stuff. People like this sensationalized sex and stuff like that. Oh, okay, let's focus more on that. Let's put our money behind that. Let's push that. That's what the people want, which is the white people or anybody outside of black people want. So that's what they cater towards, because unfortunately, those are the ones that sold out the concerts. Those are the ones that bought the merchandise. That's where the millions were being sold, was in these suburban neighborhoods. And these other people that are not of the culture. So when that drives the narrative, there's no point in having a Rhapsody or a Jean Grey or any one of these underground dope artists. They're not gonna push that out unless they have that swag or they have that, you know, that energy, that crowd that can, you know, whatever it may be. So
we have one Kendrick Lamar.
Absolutely. But we also have some dope artists now. I will say that. We got a lot of more dope artists that are really coming to this dude in Atlanta, Jid. I love him.
Oh, I just heard him.
I love him. He's co-host. But then even more so, I feel like the biggest shift that I'm loving is the female MCs. There's a lot of female. I feel like there's like a cleanse that's happening in the hip hop world. When this record label, when the record labels is collapsing due to the streaming stuff, it's changing the way that we consume. Not only how we consume music, but also record labels are not developing artists anymore, so they're not using those excuses to push out a Little Kim and just throw it on us, or push out a Nicki Minaj. You ain't seeing that no more. You ain't seeing those types of artists getting pushed no more, because that's not it's not the model where it's at right now. The labels are not in control anymore. So now you have, social media is the great equalizer. So now you have people who are pumping videos out at a non-stop rate using these advanced technologies, and then they can pump out, you can record whole records on your phone and stuff. So it's like it's being more leveraged now as far as like exactly. And you're getting more. Now you're seeing more artists that are doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? Like Doechii, like that other chick. I say Rhapsody. Rhapsody's one of the coldest chicks out right now. She's nasty. But there's a couple more. Like it's Lil Sim. She's cold. Listen. Hey, listen, because I think about this all the time. Because I love hip hop. And it's just dope to see that change. Now, if we really want to get to like the crazy part of how nowadays, if you're a rapper, a young kid rapper, you gotta be this violent, extra violent. I have to show I'm really about this like street code and all this bullshit. You know, the truth of the matter is that that's being pushed because it's a frequency. That is a frequency. That is a murder frequency. You got the music that drives it. You know what they say, because I remember back in the day growing up, you know how they'd be like, well, you know, the music isn't what makes people act crazy. So it makes you think of like Marilyn Manson. Remember that? How old are you, sister?
29.
Okay, you
But,
ain't that
you
young.
know,
You ain't that young. You ain't
my
that young.
mama, they played all of this stuff.
Okay, so you
before
know.
I knew what I was listening to, I was
Okay, so then you know. You know, I just want to make sure you know.
Yeah.
You weren't too young. You were like, oh, I ain't never. That, yeah, okay. All right, so, yeah, so, yeah, okay, Marilyn Manson. So, they don't make you pull a trigger, but it's like a soundtrack to what you want to do negative.
Yeah.
So, no, it's not telling me to go out and shoot ops. No, but if I'm on that timing, this is what's going exactly. This frequency is going to. It's like a drug. It's almost like a natural drug. Like getting a natural high to do this with this music in the background. That's going to add that. So then even on a deeper level, if you look at the frequencies of what connects to our body, that's the reason why you like them 808s and them drums and how it vibrates into your body.
Kanye spoke about that back in the early 2000s, how they shifted the way we listen to music and how it's regulating with the waters in our body and everything.
Very real.
All the way
Very
down
real.
to the, and it's so crazy because it's being pushed in the music, but it's literally coming out into the neighborhood. Like, you know, people are getting into these squabbles, these conversations, you know, these arguments, whatever they're mad about. I tell people all the time, if you tell me why you shot, I'm gonna tell you why you were food, because it ain't no reason. But it's just like, I don't know, are they listening to this music to where, like, down the neighborhood, young boys, you know, they get into something in the park and it's like, man, it's
Yeah,
like,
when I go turn on my ratchet shit, it ain't no different from when I need pick me up and I go turn on my gospel music.
so what's the difference? I used to listen to shoot 'em up, bang bang music too.
I think that's part
And
of
never
it.
went and shot and bang bang nobody.
But you know what's so crazy too?
Bust their guns,
I'm a-
but I really listen to
But you
certain
know what's so
stuff
crazy?
too.
But also think about it like this, because I will say it's a cultural shift. I'm gonna say it's a generational shift because what you have nowadays with social media. Because I'm saying social media is like there needs to be studied. I can't think of the word or what I would call it, but it's like the great something.
Experiment.
Yes, to this world because you gotta think about it like okay. Okay. Alright, I'm gathering my thoughts on this one because I don't want to sound too crazy when I say this. Alright. Don't you think it's funny that the number one thing that black women consume is the ratchet Zeus type network type content? You know what I'm saying?
We were just talking about the whole baddies thing.
Yo.
Don't get me started.
So you have
And
that,
then I experienced it.
the drill. Okay.
Now look at that.
Exactly. So don't you think it's because it makes me think of like movies like Undercover Brother and the only difference is it's not shaking, it's the music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or it's the things, it's the environments that are created to facilitate this behavior. Because like I said, when you look at the auditions of those baddies, that energy itself is like contagious of like violence. It's like when you get like people can't describe what that is. The best way I can describe it is like a mob mentality. It's a real thing. When you get a group of people and they all get to going, that's real energy that's consistently being passed around. So when you in an environment where you're trying to get on my show because you want to be seen because you want likes, follows, and clicks so that you can get your little social media fame. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to have you stay in lines for like 8 hours. I'm not going to feed you, but I will give you some alcohol.
Right.
And your expectation is to come in here and show me why you're the baddest chick on earth. As a matter of fact, bring in 2 more.
And y'all have very bad outfits. I just want to say that. Every time, I'm like, where do they shop at? Who picked that out for you?
They're not, listen.
Every time I look at these, they look so cheap. They don't know how cheap and bad
No, they
really
do
look.
know how. They do because at the end
so
of the day,
being broke, cheap, and
no,
busted,
everything is
that's
about,
what baddie means.
everything
right?
is about OnlyFans now.
It is.
That's what it boils
How
down
many
to.
people can you get to watch you
Exactly.
a certain amount of time?
Monkey.
Yes.
Do what you want to
Like,
do.
I don't know if you know, what's her name? She's local, Juice, Big Juice. So during COVID, on Bag Lady, there were a group of women, and it's been going on for 4 years now. They live on Facebook Live and they just talk about all their ratchet problems. But there was a group during COVID, they got on Bag Lady, realized that thousands of people were watching them because there was nothing else to do in COVID, and have kept up this energy, have kept up this mentality to where now people have broken into houses, people have gone to jail, people's lives have been threatened, shit has been broken. I mean, it's gone to the point where it's just like, you motherfuckers ain't tired. And like, I just got a tag in the video the other day. I'm like, they're still going because I disconnected from Bag Lady. Again, you gotta disconnect from Bag Lady when all this shit was happening. But it's
And I've heard of that. So is that a Facebook page? Bag Lady?
It's a group.
it started as a genuine Bag Lady, another man's trash is another man's treasure type thing. Like, I'm getting rid of this, I'm selling this for a little bit of nothing if you need it. That's how it genuinely started, and then it turned into a whole shit show. So, yeah, people selling tip tags, illegal, a whole bunch of illegal shit going on there too. But the juice thing, Big Juice, ask somebody, Big Juice, they were on there for 12 hours at a time, arguing, talking about who didn't have sex with who didn't call this with who.
But do you see what I'm saying when I say like it's a generational thing where we feel like it's okay to not only trauma dump onto everybody what we're going through, but to have that engagement because that's what gets more money.
Yes.
That's what gets us more seen and just the idea of we're not meant to have as much access to the world.
Say that.
And we constantly, I feel like I said this last week, but I'm gonna always continue to say it because it's God's honest
We
truth.
should not be reading everybody's thoughts like this.
No,
Like,
that's it. I don't care about you going to
sometimes I'll
the
scroll and I'm like, damn, I wish I wouldn't have read it in my headspace. Like,
Yes. And right.
It's draining. It's
Yeah.
draining.
Yeah, it is. Something with
We
that
absolutely
scrolling thing.
should not
And
have
I've
to.
tried to like delete people. Like once I see something, like you can feel people's energy
Same.
through a lot. And so I try to get those
Control
people
your
off.
own narrative.
Control my own narrative. Yes. So on that note, we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back on the discussion item.
Hey guys, before we get back to the live stream, I'm Tracy, the bartender at Southern Hospitality Bar and Grill, located at 3402 West Broadway. You guys got to come and check us out. You can call your order in, and the phone number is 502-822-1474. Again, I'm Tracy, the bartender at Southern Hospitality. Come check us out, guys.
And we're back.
Welcome back to Discussion Night Podcast. We have just got breaking news. Breaking news that Brett Hankinson has been found guilty of violating Breonna, on count one for violating Breonna Taylor's civil rights. So we just got wind of that. I feel like earlier, no, I didn't feel like earlier. Earlier though, he was not found guilty for the violation of the neighbors, but he has been found guilty of violating Breonna Taylor's civil rights, and we will not know what that sentence will be until the sentencing hearing.
About time. There it is.
Yeah.
Took long enough.
Shit.
What it done?
We got our justice.
Okay, like the fact that we still trying to prove to people we deserve to live.
It's crazy.
Hey, listen.
I can't be the obvious.
That's in a
I don't
nutshell.
know.
It's like that's everything I want to say in a nutshell. We
Yeah, like in America.
It really is. But I would never change the fact that I'm black. Like, this is the best club to be in. Like, I get it. It really is. They have no idea.
And honestly,
We struggle together, but it's still a beautiful thing to be black.
it is. And if I die when I come back, I'm coming back black. I'm
'Cause
coming back black every
Look,
time.
I said,
Look, you know what's so crazy?
I gotta put that on the shirt. God, bring me back as a black woman, okay?
You know what's so crazy? You ever heard of something called the egg theory? Because I think a lot about the universe. Okay, the egg theory.
Chicken and egg.
No, it's different. It's a universal theory. So the egg theory is basically is basically a theory where it says that you are you basically live the life of every person that's ever lived. So basically, your existence in this world is with you and all whatever. And then when you die, you basically living come back as a little girl in Japan, something like that, or whatever.
Yeah.
You live all these lives. Then once you live all these lives, then you can become a god. That's the egg theory. You know what I'm saying? In a nutshell, and you can go on YouTube, what are they talking about? Yeah, it's called the egg theory.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. I say that because it's like reincarnation. I don't know for sure what it is. I have an idea what I think it may be, and I think that same exact thing is like, do I gotta be a white person? Do I gotta be an Asian person? Do I gotta be a person with a little,
And I feel like we've been back so many times, we just don't remember them because they happen so fast.
That is true.
They say that there's like some dream slips or some things that you can go through to kind of get like back into a space of where you remember.
No,
your past
listen, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's you could do that. It was astral projecting or even like lucid dreaming, but there's a place that I really am gonna go to one day. It's called the Monroe Institute. And they specialize in exactly that.
Yes.
Where they, teach you different forms of meditation. So like literally you're paying, they have a bunch of different classes. You can pay for specific classes. So like you may say, I want to be able to remote meditate, where I can go to another part of the world in my brain and tell you exactly what's going on. You can do that. Anybody can do that.
Yes,
You just
I
gotta
know
know.
that. And it's the worst because it seems like it's only my daughter when it's happening. And it'll be good. I remember one time I was trying to get these files off the table because I was like, yes, I get to finally see who these masked people are, like with Trump and stuff. I wasn't real out there. And I go to grab the paperwork and De Niro nudges me and wakes me up. And it's trippy because when your spirit comes back into the body, it does all that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you do this every time when I'm about to reach a clue. Why do you do this?
That's a real thing.
Yes.
She is the clue.
I tell people all the time, man, I tell people all the time, just because we don't believe it to be doesn't mean it's still happening. And it's happening every day, every moment, at all times, in every way.
Astral projection is very
Absolutely very
One of my I've seen it 1,000 times. My newest favorite movie. Y'all seen Interstellar?
Fuck yes, I have. Yes.
Me and my boyfriend kind of re-dissected it again. I've seen it 1,000
I
times. but
fucks
now you
with
hear the
that.
song again for the first time.
I fucks
What is it
with
called?
Interstellar. That is
Theory.
I use that a lot for arguments or conversations about the universe because it's a good depiction of understanding of what that is, of time and space and
It kind of shows you time as like a physical realm, rather than being something that just passes that we just kind of go through. And it literally shows you like the life of this family, present, past, present, and future, in this whole scenario. It's really like, if you're not there, it's just a movie where a guy went to space, lost 30 years of his time, and came back the same age.
He didn't age at all.
Right.
But actually, I want to give you stuff if you want to check it out. You can check it out. It's a dope movie. It's a long movie, but it's a good movie. Oh, it's so fun.
I think you'll love it.
You'll find. I think you can find the value.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a definitely a good, you know, mental. Yeah, it's a good movie. I think it won an Oscar.
Yes.
It's up there. It's a good
It
movie.
is, and they don't pass you back if you're not ready for it.
If you're not ready
Like I
for
said,
it,
I've seen
that's
it so
very
many
true.
times, it was like, oh, okay, we went to space, but when I saw it, I was like, wow.
I say it all the time because you gotta also think about it like the idea of us shifting into different dimensions of like different shifting into different timelines. So like you could shift into your timeline based on how you maneuver every day. So if I'm maneuvering with a negative mindset, I'm shifting into the reality of a nigga that's a messed up mindset. But then once I start changing my mindset to being an all-powerful, dope-ass fucking artist, all of a sudden opportunities open up, people want to be, you know, things happen, all of a sudden, like it just, you know, and then we will, as humans, want to find a way to quantify what this is and say, oh, that's Jesus or that's whatever. But no, really, it's
you.
Let's get
it's you.
Well, you know we can't talk.
Well, we come to a finish. We'll come to a finish.
You know what it is, though. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, like,
It's all you.
that's
I never understood like how, you know, people, they give their power away.
Give it away.
Like, just
It's
give it
like
away. Just give it away. Oh, the Lord did he? I
Look,
just sworn that
I would
you
be-
got the degree,
I would be a
wrote
little
your
bit.
dissertation, got the PhD, got the job, and all the Lord
But
did.
it's-
So what the hell was you doing? Like you know what I'm saying?
I got a
You give
friend,
your
I gave
power
a
away.
job. I set her up to get a job. She would never tell me thank you. And I'm just like, Jesus didn't put your name on that list for the people to call you.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
I
gonna
don't
need
need-
a.
I don't need the credit like
I-
that, but let's just keep it real. Like we doing this work.
No, I feel like I think the crazy thing is that the thing about religion with me is that I think that it is true, but it's still universal. That's how I feel. So like even like with some of the things that like when they say Jesus, well, okay, let's say he did live, right? I feel like where he went in those years was he went to learn about the mystic arts in India, in Egypt, which was being taught at the same time. We don't know about that. They don't talk about that part of it. You know what I'm saying? And maybe some of those miracles you think are miracles, not necessarily miracles. Maybe he just knew how to manipulate the things around him. That's not something we can do right now. If we focus our brain power, I can bring this shit to me like fucking Jamiroquai. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Listen, there is a psychedelic drug out there that I have participated in that has allowed me to use multiple parts of my brain that I had never used just on a regular basis. So I know that we're not using.
that ain't close.
You know, we can turn water into wine. I always look at like a lot of different stories in the Bible as allegories. You know, it wasn't really.
Or the metaphysics of it all, like just explain the metaphysics, and
You know
it would
what I'm
make
saying?
much more
Make more
sense
sense.
to people. And people like, oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because-
explain it
Mhm.
metaphysically.
The metaphor.
Because if Jesus lived today, we would think he was fake.
Correct.
If
Nobody
the
would-
idea of it, he wouldn't even be respected or whatever. So that's why I always tell people it's like I do believe in not so much aliens, but I believe in the idea of interdimensional beings.
Yeah.
I totally believe in that.
Yeah.
And that's what Congress said. Even Congress said that. You ever seen that? Have you seen that?
No.
There is this, it was the most wildest shit. This has been like a year or so ago. There was this meeting that the people in Congress or whatever had behind closed doors, where they were getting exposed the secrets of what's out there, of what the military has in that nature. And if you look at the press conference that happens right after they get out of the room, and all of them look shook as fuck. They just like, yes, it's some creepy shit too. They're like, yeah, we're not alone. This is Congress. I forgot where I seen that, but it's Congress, MSNBC, all that shit. And they were just like, we have interdimensional beings, we have proof, we have this. I can't get the details, but it's real. It's like, I feel like that's what you see on these pyramids, these pictures, these tall beings or whatever. I feel like I believe in Anunnaki. I believe in all of that. Because that explains. I feel like the pyramids were built with vibration.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like it was built. I feel like there was a machine that had vibration that was so strong that lifted the blocks and put them into place. Now the reason why I say that is because I seen this documentary a while ago. I don't know how we got on this topic, but I remember watching this documentary and talking about these monks that lived in this far off village in some mountain in Tibet somewhere. And no cameras were allowed there. And this guy talked about how he had snuck up there, and he had snuck a little bit. Well, he ain't gonna be. He just snuck in the temple, and he's caught them literally levitating each other with these like horns. They would just like blow it, and they would literally levitate people and items and shit. They would just be in circles levitating each other. And he said that was the most amazing shit he ever heard. He got in trouble because they caught him, but it was just like they were lifting themselves with vibration. So that is a very real thing. You know what I'm saying? Like vibrations is very real. Everything, mathematics is is that. If you seen the video with the sand on the metal plate where they vibrate the metal plate, and the more the higher the frequency, the more complex the pattern. That's real. That's happening right now. You just can't fathom it because it don't come in a book with chapters and verses. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't come that way. No, that shit is, goodness gracious, y'all. Y'all hear me? Got this little dance.
Well, we're gonna get into our last topic for the evening for tonight, and it's friendships, associations, and acquaintances. Are they speak with your friends? Like, I feel like we use the term friends loosely. Very loosely. I think when we have a general conversation. Oh, so what you do? Well, I just went to my friend's house the other night, and we just talking about.
I'm gonna let y'all go ham. Because I got a dope analogy that I want to use.
I feel like we use the term friend loosely, and a lot of the times we do have a lot of dope associations, and the people that that we know, our co-workers, things like that. But I feel like in dialogue we might tend to throw the word out there, kind of loosely. But yeah, break it down. Any views? How do you feel about it?
No, they're not. I don't have friends actually, like legit.
Powerful.
Yeah, I don't have friends. I have people who you're either family or you're an acquaintance. Yeah, that's just really how it is. We either be family or you're an acquaintance because my expectations of me holding space for you in general it's a pure space. It's a pure exchange of vibrations, energy, love.
So would you put like your childhood friends with family?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Like
that's why I say like in this day and time, 21, yeah, I got friends, but at almost 30, it's like I have family or acquaintances, people I work with, people I've met, even people I work with at drum corps, they're my family. They're big with it. You can move from acquaintance to family, but it's the friend realm for me is very fake. It's very temporary. It's very wishy-washy, for lack of a better term. So it's one of those things that I don't really operate in the space of friendship. It's more like we're family. If we gonna hold space with each other, let's hold space with each other in the sense that we love each other. I don't have time to be, well, she did this to me or she did this to me or, like that bickering back and forth. Like, we family, let's talk about what I did to make you feel or what you did to make me feel. But I feel like when you say friends, you leave room for all these negative connotations, whether it's you getting backstabbed, whether it's you getting gossiped about, whether it's...
Yeah, because now they have terms like frenemies and fake friends and it's like...
No new friends.
Yeah. And it's just like, or has somebody made this word like ugly? Because it's unfortunate that we hang out with people or whatever. Because they probably weren't your friends, so they probably was just some random Joe schmo that you should have never even been connected to, and you had to learn a hard lesson. And so you're like, oh, I don't want no new friends because this is how people treat you. No, you just chose to hang out with some group of people, women, a person, something, and you had to learn that lesson.
Yes, everybody that you connect with are not meant to be in your life for sometimes more than that little connection that you made.
Yeah.
And so I think, in those moments where if I'm connected with you off of grief, oh, you my friend now because we have this one connection, but then we misunderstand each other over here on something else that, hey girl, you were never my friend to begin with, honestly, we just had a moment of connection as acquaintances. Yeah, and I think that that's okay for me to be your acquaintance and we got this in common, okay? And as we work and build and grow this relationship or whatever, all the connections we have, then you can move into a familial space with me. But friend is just.
I like that. I like that. I like when I break that down. I would definitely say this. For me, it's I'm going to take a piece of an analogy that I love using from Brother T.D. Jakes when I was heavily religious. Because we all were happy to be at some point. We all, because it's like
it was a building block.
Because to me, it's
I would never deny.
And I
what I've
want to
learned.
negate exactly. I want to negate
and how it's
what it's
raised.
done for me, how it's grounded me. Absolutely.
that was what you said, a building block,
Yeah.
a build a base. To say the same way, that was a building block for you to have an understanding of that, in the same way of how black people are indoctrinated to being Democrats. You know what I'm saying? So that's where you start out at, and then you branch out and be like, I didn't feel that. That's just my dig on Democrats.
Yes,
But anyway,
can we get out of this right
if you step back. All right, so the analogy is this, all right? So friendship is, I would break it up into a few categories, okay? You have constituents, you have comrades, you have confidants, and I'm just gonna add my last one is family. I'm gonna add that. This is one I've added since then. So constituents are what you would consider to be like Facebook friends, or they're not really friends, they're just people that you are familiar with. I would say 90% of my Facebook friends are that. I don't know you like that. I met you at one party or whatever, and you send me a friend request, and now you can see the things that I do. Yeah, we don't have no conversations, but I guess the courtesy is to give you access to my life, and you can see. That's just what it is. And you're giving me access to your life to see you on a deeper level. And so Instagram is mostly private, so you're allowing me to see more.
Come on in.
Exactly. So you have that, and that should be the higher number. The highest number you have with people is constituents. That's how it should be. And then you have comrades. Now, comrades to me are people that you are cool with, but we all have our own agendas and what we're trying to do in life. We're not like Maxwell is a great comrade. I've known him for years. You know what I'm saying? And he has his agenda in life. He has what he's doing. I have my agenda. I'm broken fourth wall again. I'm sorry. I'm Deadpool. Come on, I'm Blackpool. You know what I'm saying? I'm Blackpool. I did the same thing last week. But I did the same way too. But no, so like that friend that we had that committed suicide, he was a comrade. We wasn't that close. I didn't know his life like that. We hung out a few times, but more so we connected through like how we helped each other. That's a comrade. How I'm not saying we're not close, but we help each other out. I got love and respect for the sister. You know what I'm saying? Then you have confidants. Yeah, the confidants is the smallest group of people that you have. They know all the where everybody in your house is buried and all that, and y'all share that energy toward each other, and y'all give each other the energy. And I'm gonna say family last, and I'm gonna see you family because it's deeper than just us knowing each other, help each other. I have love for you. Like, I have genuine love for this sister. You know what I'm saying? And that is something that you're not necessarily born with. You know what I'm saying? My family, nowadays in a lot of ways, is more like constituents to me, than necessarily actually family. Because it's like the older you get, you have different needs and things of that nature. So, yeah, your family, I'm big on it's not the family you born with, the family you create. And that's exactly how it is. So even when it comes to like people that call me friends, I'll meet some people being cool with, it's like, we're not really ever going to be really cool, or you're not going to be my friend, or consider me a friend, until we have a disagreement. Because then that'll tell me exactly whether or not we're friends, because we should be able to come back. We can disagree, but we should be able to come back. Are we going to disagree disrespectfully? You know what I'm saying? It really depends on how we respect each other. Exactly. So, for me, those are the categories I put friends in.
I like that.
To piggyback off of that, the disagreements is when you find out which ones.
You find out a lot. You find out everything you want to know about a person when they don't see it.
But I can say the people that I call family, those who are my chosen family and those who I'm born with, that we have this feel and this bond that if I bring something to you, or you know, we disagree on something in the moment, I can still call you the next day, come pick up that pot of chili that you said.
Or even if you have to take that space, because like my childhood friends are my childhood friends, so I've known them,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, just as long as I know cousins and stuff. And we've had like, not nothing hard to knock out, nothing like that, but I don't really bother with you today, and I don't want you to be bothered, I don't want to
Take
see
your
you
time.
today, just leave me alone. But yeah, when we see each other again, it's all love, you
It should
know.
be.
And I feel like relationships are like that. Whether it's family, constituents, comrades, whatever, it's still a relationship. And you're not gonna always get along all the time.
That's a
You know,
false- that's
false.
false
You're not
light.
gonna always get along.
Yeah.
With your favorite people in the world, you're not gonna get
You
along.
don't even get along with yourself all the time, so expecting to get along with somebody else is absurd.
My friend circle pissed me off. We all lived together in New York City, and I swear every single last one got them on nerves. And I told them, I said I don't want to see none of y'all for another 6 months. My friend Brad still laughed about it, and I did. I left. I came back pregnant, married, everything. I was so sick of them. You know?
That's hilarious.
I was like, hey y'all, hey.
Okay. Exactly.
Came back with a whole baby. They was like, what?
Yeah.
And we still live in New York together. You know what
Wow.
I'm saying? It was just a lot that was going on at the time. I feel like everybody needed their space.
Yeah.
So.
No, but I feel it. And that's the thing about it. It's like, and I don't like the idea of saying no new friends because that's the weirdest thing for me to say.
Agreed, yeah.
I love the idea of connecting with dope souls.
Yeah.
Because you're supposed to. That's what you live, exactly. You don't know where you're gonna be at in life.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I say how dope manifestation is. It's like you can sit up here and say right now, say the most outrageous thing, I wanna be a millionaire in a year. In your mind, you don't know how the hell that's gonna happen, but if you're not open to the process of the universe making things happen, then you will never know how it happens. You may think you have to do X, Y, Z, but maybe you have to do Z.
That's it.
And I question people who don't like people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That is
some people are so like,
Rejection.
I don't do people, or
That's a trauma response.
Yeah, it is.
Because no human being, like a baby, is born wanting to touch his mama, wanting to be around people. Like we need human connections for our brains to fully develop.
Very true.
So that is
Very true.
that's a trauma response. It has to be a trauma
Once somebody says that, I'm like,
Yeah.
But what do you think that is though, too? It's, you
we're not
know,
gonna see each other.
this is my personal opinion. I think just the touch in general is just the energy. And it's consistently flowing.
Yeah.
So as I touch this sister, this sister, you know, you feel that it's constant.
Yeah.
It's constant. So yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah. I think it's
Exactly.
it's inhumane to not like people. Like no animal, no living thing, even plants.
But you know what's so crazy? That's what's always being like
And it's
applauded.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great to be toxic.
Like that
What?
music, like that music.
Yeah, I don't fuck with nobody else, girl.
It's
Yeah,
the
you
frequency.
do.
And even this this newfound self-care, this new level of understanding of self-care is yielding a isolated mindset too, because you have to essentially, like I know when I was first introduced to self-care, it was neglect everything else and neglect everybody else and make sure you're good. And after doing that for so long, it's just like, we talk about this in class, collective care is part of self-care. You can't care for yourself without the people who are connected to you, right?
And that is
So-
my self-care. You know,
Yes,
for some
that's
people, that is
self-care.
my self-care. Yes, caring for others.
Caring for my people,
and
yes, you know what I'm saying? Because eventually, your people you gonna need your people to pour into you. And the only way to keep that collective care is if you gotta keep that bucket pouring in
Very true.
full. And so this whole sense of like self-care is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. Care for yourself in ways that you ain't gotta spend money is my biggest form of self-care. But also create some collective care is a part of your self-care. Keep it some, again, the people that you surround yourself with, the things that you tell yourself in your head, all of that support your humanity.
And it dictates exactly who you are as a person. You know, I try to tell just anybody younger than me that you are what you are today because of what you thought about a year ago, a month ago, a year ago.
Yeah, yesterday.
You are what you are, yeah, exactly. You are what you thought about. So think about that.
Yes. Thought is the most important thing, which is why it's the most important thing.
Yeah!
That's what I'm protect,
There you go. There you go. That is correct.
Yeah.
Well, all right, y'all. We'll go around the room. finally, at the last moment, get it off your chest. Is there anything that you need to say? You want to get off your chest, whether it be good, bad, or ugly? But you just want to let it flow out. You want to get out. Oh, I get out.
Oh yeah, I actually got I'm gonna go first. Alright, so we are, what's today? Today is November 1st. This is a free day. So what is it? Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 4 days, you know, we are voting, the big votes and all that good stuff, whatever it may be. And I feel like, I think with me, the thing I'm really pissed off about this election cycle, or in general, is how, as a collective, the black community really is so pigeonholed to say, if you're not what we want us to be, then you're not us. You're Uncle Tom. You know what I'm saying? And then you have politicians like Obama. I had issue with Obama and his wife constantly telling us that trying to shame us because we're not voting for what, because you know what I'm saying? And you can see it's a tactic to make black people, you know, feel better. You're not gaslighting us to vote in the Democrat. Because at the end of the day, Democrat or Republican, ain't doing shit for us. Yeah, nobody really for
us.
us.
Overall, it's the electoral college. It's just an illusion of inclusion because we really don't have any say of the president. It's just that they corral us together to get us all out here. They use all of this stuff as bait to get Americans to go against each other. Like now we're arguing and doing all this extra shit, and at the end of the day, you said all that to say, and you're not even a part of this process. Local votes matter. Local votes matter. Yes. Out of those, I think it's like 325 electorals. I forgot the number. Yeah. It's those guys. Yeah.
Well, I just said all that to just say this. Fuck the Obamas. That's what I feel about my chest. That's how I feel about the Obamas. Because I just feel like, at the end of the day, because I feel like a lot of black people feel this way. They just don't want to admit it. You know what I'm saying? And that's some real shit because we rock with Obama because he got a black woman. That's really what it is. Because he got his black woman and he goes cool as shit. And we don't rock with Kamala because she got her white man and she comes off as very inauthentic. And she tries her best to be authentic.
Kamala ain't black.
No, she's not.
And not only that, dude, look at her family picture. She's not the black family, bro. Like, look at the family picture. She's not.
And that's what pisses me off.
Y'all gotta cut it out.
And that's what pisses me off.
We're that blame watch that we don't even know who your own people eat.
That's the stuff that blows me away. Is like we're like, well, y'all don't want to vote for a black woman. She's not a black woman. She's a black woman when it's time to get voted for. So she miraculously becomes a black person when it's time to get voted on. But literally just says fuck us and everybody else. When she gets in office, this is what she's done.
I'm nervous.
I'm at with it. Well, I'm at with it right now.
Where you at with it?
Make America great again. That's what I'm voting for Trump. Just to piss black people off. That's how I feel.
Turn this shit on right now. Come on, get out of just together. Mr. Kenny's downstairs, I think. I'm actually gonna do it. I'm gonna just have it. Oh, that was Desmond. Oh, I thought it was Mr. Kenny. So yeah, let's go ahead. What you got? Get off your chest. What am I gonna get off my chest?
I wish I had that.
Prayer without works is dead.
That's it.
We love to pray a lot, but we gotta do more work.
Word.
We got to do more work. Jesus didn't put us to voicemail because the will brings. They didn't put us to voicemail because we just asking for shit.
But we still in voicemail. That's what we still waiting for the call. I don't give a goddamn.
And all of
I'm waiting for the other side of the mountain. I'm waiting for that.
This is what I want to get off my chest. Like I'm sorry, but black people can't. Nobody is coming to save us. It's like you have to do it. Do it yourselves. Come together, figure out the plan, and execute it. But don't wait around for nothing. And you know what? It just pains me. Like when people die, that's why like if somebody dies in my life, I don't really want to take to social media. I have before, like when my best friend died. But even still, when you read the comments, it's like prayers, and it's like, well, they're dead already. Like we're praying for. I want me to say it. Like, we're praying for. You're praying for my strength. I don't have strength right now. I'm gonna grieve, and once I'm done grieving, I'm gonna find that strength. And you can keep your prayers. Yes, I said it.
I'm holding space for you.
I like that.
After losing my father to gun violence, all of those sentiments that people say, it pissed me off. Hearing
Yeah.
people say, give it to God, or, you know, literally everything that people say, it drove me crazy to the point where I just tell, don't give me no advice. Don't say anything to me. I'm angry. I'm fucking mad. Somebody stole my day. And there's nothing that you can say to me in this moment that's going to make anything of what I feel.
And that's what I always tell people.
And sometimes it's just better.
Anybody who's grieving,
Hold
yeah.
space for me, sit here with
Oh
me,
my, yeah, sit here
give me
with
some
me, on my
fucking
hand.
tissues.
And what I tell you is that it ain't gonna be all right.
It ain't.
I will tell you that. Like,
It's
I
not.
tell anybody who's grieving, I'm like, it ain't gonna be okay.
Look,
You're gonna be changed. It's gonna be different.
It don't get better.
How you, yeah, exactly.
It don't. That's
It's
a
all
lie.
about how you process that. That's on you.
It takes time.
It takes time.
It takes time. We just said that last night. Like, he lost his dad at 17, I lost my dad at 17. I guess falling is a thing.
It is. It's a
I lost my
man.
dad at 17, and we talked about how, like, you know, and he's older, he's 44, I'm 30. It doesn't get better. He got 15 years my senior, and he still struggles with the same things that I'm struggling with. It'll be 12 years this year. So it's just one of those things where it's just like, all of those things, I don't even, you know, I don't even echo any of those things when somebody leaves. I'm just holding space for you. I'm making it about you. You know, if you need something, I can do it for you, call me, because at the end of the day, I don't want to worry about stuff with my dad now. So if I can help you to not worry about just getting a meal, let me get you.
And that's the other thing about women, man. Y'all naturally, that's why I say women are nurturers.
Yeah.
Y'all just naturally think that way. And a man's natural response would be like, how can I protect you?
Yeah.
How can I help you? Know, how can I, that's how it
How
is.
can I fix it?
Exactly, that's how we are. How can I not make you hurt anymore? And it's like, yeah, that's pretty interesting to hear you say that.
Well, all right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of Discussion Night. We will see you back in another 2 weeks. If you would like to join the Discussion Night podcast, you can do so. I'll leave it somewhere in the description box. I'll go back and write it. I'll tag it in the thing, and yeah, I'll figure out how y'all can reach me, because there's several ways that you can reach me. You can reach me by phone and just text DN. That's 502-807-9835. Or you can go to the Discussion Night page. Just DM me. DM the Discussion Night thing. You do that, yeah, you can do those 2 ways. But other than that, peace. See you in 2 weeks.
Before we go,
Oh, one more thing.
I just want to harp in on the importance of taking advantage of this podcast space, because Muhammad is being really intentional about controlling the narrative. It seems that the only narrative that we hear and see, even to the point where some of our people are believing, is what the white man pushes out via the news. So if you got real estate advice, and really anything that we can control the narrative, give our people some knowledge, like, this is the space to do that. So if you got a lot of complaints about what you're seeing, come help be a part of the narrative that's different. Yep.
Here at Roots 101 African American Museum. Thank you, Lamont Collins, and our cameraman.
That's well.
Everybody always messes it. I love it.
Yeah, we just supposed to acknowledge him.
Here at Discussion Night Podcast, we want to show quality images of Black people engaged
In a creative space to express our voices, we believe that everything starts with conversation to spark change.
Control the narrative, control the image.
My name is Jamila Young, and welcome to Discussion Night.
I'm Nipsey Green, and this is Discussion Night.
I'm your host, Hami, and welcome to Discussion Night.
Life, love, and the pursuit of happiness. All that we all want, and all that we all need. To beg and plead for the 7 degrees of separation is to see life and leave. You think you want this and you think you want that. But in the end, it's all black.